This video will give you the basics of scale drawing. For scale drawing, your intention is to very clearly design an object you are going to make before you make it. It helps you refine your design plans, and then it also serves the purpose of being evidence for copyright purposes. So for the purposes of this exercise, I'm going to pretend that I am being asked to design a vase that is 5 inches tall by 4 inches wide at the widest point. So my graph paper here happens to be a 1/4 inch grid, which means each of these squares is measured a 1/4 inch in size, so 4 of them makes 1 inch, makes my life easier. So I could go ahead and start figuring out how tall my vase needs to be on the paper. So I could make a little starting mark. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 5 inches tall. Now let's say, again, probably the widest point on my vase is going to be 4 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, as I'm beginning to draw my vase, I want to find center. It'll help me keep my vase a fairly symmetrical object, which is usually desirable. So halfway in here is the middle, so I might give myself a light little line to help guide me as I'm drawing, to keep an eye on center. I might want to decide how big the base of my vase is. Let's go with 2 inches for now. And let's go with maybe a little bit wider at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. So my base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares, which means it's 2 inches wide, whereas my top has an additional 2 squares, making it 2.5 inches wide. And I'm just going to make little marks on the edges of my 4 inches where the widest point is going to be, to help me make sure I'm meeting that same spot on both sides. So I can come down and start to flare my vase out, hit my 4-inch mark, and then come back down to the base. And you can refine your edges after that once you've kind of made sure you're reaching the right point to see how you want your design to be. I could then start planning some designs, like maybe I want just kind of a cool subtractive texture on the bottom, kind of alternating height. Maybe I want kind of a similar thing at the neck of the vase. So, say that's my basic design. Now I need to do a few other things to make this an official scale drawing. So I need to make correct measurement marks. So at the top of my vase, I decided that was 2.5 inches wide. So I'm drawing 2 straight up and down lines, the full length of the mouth of the vase here, and connecting it by a single line. I'm going to put 2 little small tick marks through the end. This is just industry standard. And then I am going to write 2.5 inches. Next, I need to mark my height. That's pretty important. So I'm going to make the same sort of marks, full height of 5 inches, making sure I put in my little tick marks. And you don't have to rotate your number for this. You can just write it next to it, 5 inches. Then you might want to write your measurement at the bottom. Two inches, my little tick marks. You would also probably want to fit your 4-inch mark down here to note that this particular width, the biggest width, is 4 inches. Once you have all your measurement marks on there, you need to do a title box. So a title box has a consistent order of where you write things, but the size of it is not overly important as long as you can fit everything in it. So the top half of your title box or title block is your name. On the bottom portion of the box, the first section is your scale. So this is referencing how big the drawing is compared to the actual object that's going to be made. So most of the time you're going to do a 1-to-1 scale drawing, meaning that your drawing is the exact same size as the object that is supposed to be made. The next section is your date. So go ahead and write in the date that you have designed this drawing. And then the last section is the title here, and that is, I'll just say subtractive vase, because I'm doing some subtractive designing. That completes your title block. Some other important factors in a scale drawing, you want to have some call-out notes. So here I've got subtractive designs, here I've got subtractive designs, so I might put an arrow to both and write subtractive. I might also note things like construction method, so I might say wheel thrown vase if I wanted to have it wheel thrown. I might note a type of glaze or glaze color, so I might want a celadon glaze on here. So basically these notes are just more information to anybody looking at the drawing what the overall plan is for your design. And that's the basics of scale drawing.